from that perspective, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, I haven't done it in 7 years, so I am okay where I'm at. Like, this
Yeah.
is good. But then if I like think about the future, it's weird. Like, you just gotta stay present. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Just stay present and work on what you can right now. Because like, if I think about the future, I'm like, am I gonna be ready for this certain meet at this time?
Tell me about like what is a mantra that you've been keeping in focus right now to keep you steady and to keep you encouraged?
My coach basically told me to keep my he's basically said, like, remember that I haven't done this stuff in 7 years. I don't, let's see, what I've been telling myself, just positive. Like, I've had a really good time lately in like focusing on the little 1% technical aspects that I can do to get better in my, like across all 7 events. So field events have more technique, but like even running, it's just like remembering to keep my hips involved and staying tall through the running and like staying tall, just like on the ball of your feet and just like moving your hands and don't like get too tight. So just having all those little technical details ironed out, like that's been really like a really fun focus for me. It's not like quite a mantra, obviously, but it's just continuing to focus on the little details and knowing that that's what's really going to make me better since I've been here before and I have the muscle memory of like strength that'll come back easily and being able to get that speed back, but just like those details that I do need to get better from last time are what I've been focusing on.
So tell me about how the meet went.
It was good as giving myself benchmarks for where I am. I only competed in the 60 hurdles and long jump. Like I said, I talked to my coach and I was like, I expected this and this happened. And he's like, it's been 7 years. You're cool. But like hurdles, the technique was there. It looked, it looks good, but then like it's just getting things quicker. So I was okay with that. I'm happy. Then long jump, I did go from a shorter approach, and I didn't jump very far. And that was disheartening in the moment, but I was also trying to think in the moment, like, what are the positives out of this, and stay positive within this.
What do people, just your everyday people who watch the Olympics and watch track and field, they might not know what happens with the heptathlon. So fill us in on like some things that are not well known about that event.
Okay, first, I think it's funny that people joke about putting like a normal person in events, but I really wish they would put a normal person in Olympic events. People don't know that a lot of people don't know it's 7 events. I mean, the last time we learned about hep was like geometry in high school. So a lot of people don't know the heptathlon is 7 events. So I have to explain that, and then I have to explain that the events in it, obviously, and they're always the same order. Always, always, always. Like 100 hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200. Those are always on the first day. And then day two is always long jump, javelin, and the 800. So that's like a simple fact that we can share with people to start.
So then with your training, you're constantly training um, in the different techniques, or I'm sorry, in the different events, or are you training more like you were talking about technique? You're focusing on your running or certain muscle groups or things like that. Like, how does that work with your training?
Yeah, you're focusing on all of that every single day. So it's you're hitting technique, you're hitting strength and power, and you're hitting endurance, like cardio as well, because you have to be able to have that the power and endurance to get through like high jump or long jump or everything.
I didn't really realize this before, but it's like a really lonely sport because I mean you're the one who you do have a coach and that kind of thing, but it's ultimately like it's not a team thing really,
Yeah,
and you're relying on yourself to push yourself, and when yourself is not there, you're the mainly the one who knows.
yeah,
So
yeah. Like every single day, I have to show up mentally. I can't rely on anyone else to show up for me.
mhm.
So I have to stay very, very, very intrinsically motivated I can
Yeah.
pull motivation from like the only motivation I really pull from others is like their work ethic. I really respect other people's work ethics, and that motivates me. I wanted to mention this quote that I really like from Walter Payton. He's one of my idols that I like as well because of his work ethic on the field and off the field. But he says running alone is the toughest. You got to get to the point where you have to keep pushing yourself. And that is always, I'm just like, yeah, that's how I feel in track all the time.
One of the last bad training days you had and how you kind of like worked your way through that.
Last bad training day, I cried and called my husband.
Um,
um, yeah, there's been tears.
like while you were training or after?
Right after,
Mm,
usually right after, 'cause I'm at the track alone
yeah.
on those days, and it just like a lot of emotions hit me because I guess I just get like off focus of what I'm doing, and like negative thoughts creep in, and then I just cry, and then I calm down and I figure it out. But I think the crying is good,
Mhm.
um, part of the process for me to work through what happened and how to negate that moving forward and not let it happen again.
Tell me about what you have in store for this week coming up in training.
I mean, every week is like training through right now. It's just keep getting better at those 1% details that I need to get better at across the board and everything. It's just getting better. That's the focus, getting better. Maintaining strength and getting better technically.
Sounds like having grace for yourself also.
Yes.
The mental is just as important as the physical. I don't think people realize that.
It's a lot more than the physical. It's you can easily get better physically. It's just like mentally, are you going to allow yourself to get better? You know? My next track meet, I'm looking to compete February 16th as my next meet.